Y'all, this morning I applied for my first six-figure grant. It was like 4 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, yeah, we're doing this right now. And like, I had this like assurance about me because over the last couple months, I've gotten really, really good at getting clear on what it is that I'm building and the kind of support that I need and where the thing could go. I don't know where it's going. Every day the thing is growing in my hands, but I've been open minded enough to stay out of the way and just see how the work is evolving. And so, any opportunity that I get to pour into it a little bit more, to get funds to do some more research, or to get funds to put activations in different spaces, community spaces, or show up in different ways, I'm gonna take that on. And, you know, after I submitted the proposal, I had like such a euphoric moment that I can't even explain. By the way, go to the This Is Your Archive YouTube page. Matter of fact, I'm gonna link the video below for you so you can see how hard I was tripping this morning. No, I wasn't on nothing. I don't even drink coffee. But it was for the first time in a long time I was able to name that feeling, the feeling of like, I had the audacity to think that I can receive funding from these people. Just to even think, yeah, they could work with me. Like, because if you don't believe in what you're doing, you don't put it in front of people. Simple. If you don't believe in what you're doing, you don't put in the work. If you don't believe in what you're doing, you don't show up. I show up every single day. Whether I'm in the mood or not, whether I like it or not, I just woke up from a nap. I'm annoyed. I'm like placing Amazon orders for my activation. I'm doing this. I haven't slept. I went to bed at 6 a.m. But I show up because I believe that I'm building something here. I believe that I'm doing something here. And so whether I feel like it or not, the work has got to be done. And so I was having a moment where I was like, oh, this is what the thing is. Like when you have the audacity, first of all, to think, like, wouldn't it be crazy if? That's one. Two is, I'm just going to look at the application. Three is, I'm going to fill out the application. Four is, I'm going to hit submit. Do you know how many levels of audacity there are between the what if and some sort of answer? And I've said this before, like, it's not about the money. Girl, it was never about the money. Child, it could be whatever. It's not about the congratulations. It's not about being seen. It's about being able to do meaningful work. It's about being able to add language to what I'm doing. You know? Please, I get 1% of everything. I wonder how many things I've applied for over the years. Like literally between 2020 and now. I wonder how many residencies, how many grants I've applied for. It's been like literally over like 300 at least. But I've gotten like 4 or 5. You know what I mean? 4 or 5 solid ones, 4 or 5 long-term relationships that continue to pour into me over and over again. I don't want to get every opportunity. I need to get the one that's for me. I want my things. I don't want other people's things. I want my things. And so what I'm realizing, what I've come to know about my work and my process is that like the joy is not in when I finally get the yes, girl, we want to give you the funding to do the research project. For me, the joy comes in just sitting down and writing an application. That's enough for me because my work expands as I'm talking about it. You have to put some bass in your voice. You have to be like, all right, I need these people to not think I'm crazy. So I'm gonna say this. If you're coming up with an idea for a project, if you're just pitching the thing, if you're pitching your initiative, you kind of put some bass in your voice and you're like, hey, this is what I'm building, and I believe this is what it has the potential. This is the impact it has the potential to have. You're like in this space where nothing is impossible to you. It's such like, is it magical? Is it prophetic? I don't know. It's like, yeah, so I want this, and if you give this to me, I'm gonna do this with it. So yeah, for your consideration, sincerely. And then you submit the thing and you're like, oh my gosh, what did I do? You're like, what did I do? But like, you walk away feeling so good about yourself. I don't know about other people, but for me, it's good enough for me to apply for something. Because, girl, jokes on you. You didn't want to give me the grant. Jokes on you. Now I have a lot of copy. My work has expanded so much. I update my website instantly, child. I update all the things instantly. My document, my about page, or whatever. And now I have copy that I can refine a little bit. If the idea wasn't clear, fine, I'm gonna work on it and I'm gonna apply for the next thing and I'm gonna get the next thing. You know what I mean? So yeah, back to, having the audacity to um find funding partners, finding support. There's like an air right now of um creators being able to pitch crazy things to big brands and big organizations and get that multi-year funding and support. Straight off the top of my head, news came out recently about Rachel Amandi and Patreon having like a multi-year partnership together where she'll be producing different things to be hosted on the platform alongside the amazing podcast that is the Cutting Room Floor, Kev on Stage, and Tubi. I mean, Kev on Stage is everywhere, chat. But like being able to like you have support and you can focus on the work. That is what I'm trying to move into. It was these people that I had in mind that I was like, girl, let me pitch this six-figure deal because girl, I need to find my way out the hood somehow, one way or another. I'm gonna find my way out the hood because you sustainable work, um sustainable work is supported by like a consistent income. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm very grateful for my experience that I had working in a museum for almost 2 years because, being part of an organization like that that's been around for a bajillion years, you realize, oh, there are different funding sources, right? There's an endowment that the founder left behind to support the 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 organization, but also they have like donors. They have things that they offer. They have a grant department. Their job is to apply for the grants left and right. Okay? Sometimes us little creatives try to come up, us little artists and builders and curators trying to come up. We're competing with the museums. You're applying for the same grant as the museums. You're applying for the same little $2 grant, child. They be sweeping. Okay, I've seen it all. We're competing with the galleries, other community initiatives, other community centers, and youth programs are also looking for funding to support their yearly programming. And so, it's a mix of all of those things, but there is like a solid one or two or three funding sources that kind of like gives you room to breathe, so you don't have to worry about keeping the lights on. You don't have to worry about how am I gonna buy scissors for the activation that I'm doing this weekend. How am I gonna buy film for, like, it's like, no, like, operations are supported. Like, there are funding sources that literally help support operations, keep the thing alive so that you can create freely. And this is the space that I'm slowly moving into, that I'm being more mindful of, like, oh yes, so this is what it takes, right? And so yeah, I say all that to say that, like, I can do this. I can do this. It's crazy, but I can do it. Um, it's good work, it's meaningful work, it's impactful work. And I didn't apply for this knowing that, like, oh, I'm gonna get it. Like, they're big mama, like big mama, like they fund countries. So what is little me? Actually, big me, because I belong in the conversation as well. Not too much on my girl. Not too much on my girl. Yes. They gave funding to this country for their initiative. They gave money to this museum, and they also gave money to Lynn to build This Is Your Archive, period. In Jesus' name, period. But yeah, like, just being able to say, like, I know I'm building something here. There's something going on here, and it has the potential to grow. and it has the potential to expand. And it's around public engagement, it's around humanities, it's around civic engagement, it's around, how people connect with their communities, how people show up, how people tell stories, how people choose the spaces that they live in long term, and why people decide to stay in spaces. I think like there's like such amazing research that we have the potential to do, while also keeping it rooted in artistic expression, and collective storytelling. And so, yeah, there's something beautiful going on over here. And I'm just excited to see how my work expands. Like, literally, just sitting here, um, putting together that budget, I was like, oh, okay, so we need money to like work with artists. We need money to buy supplies. We need money for operations. We need money to do research. We need money to da 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 da. And then just being able to see like how much would it take you, no holds bar, to pour into the thing that you're building for a year, and like everything you ever needed, all the resources you ever needed, how much money is that for the course of a year? What does that look like? And what are the different categories, right? Who are you working with? What collaborators do you need? What resources do you need? What access do you like? What do you need to make this work in a 12-month period? And so sometimes just being able to put that into practice, being able to exercise that, it expands your mind. Because for me, again, okay, I cannot say this enough. I had This Is Worcester before I had This Is Your Archive. I had one idea before I even had the container. And so I had the idea and I pitched it, and I'm like, hey, I have this idea. It would be fun to do this fun summer project. They give me money for it. And then the work is like, wait, I can do this here. I can do this there. I can bring it here. I can bring it to that conference. I still have a dream of bringing it to Coachella and Afrotech. And then I'm like, whoa, it needs a container. So This Is Your Archive becomes a container. And then I find myself developing research questions about how people engage in community. So I'm like, are we one day going to have a research center? And so you see how the thing is expanding, but it started with me having this idea and being like, this has potential to be something somewhere somehow. Let's see what happens. So yeah, I say all that to say that you should totally check out my video on the This Is Your Archive channel, where I was tripping at 4 o'clock it was 5 a.m. and I went to bed at 6. I haven't slept for real. I'm not fully convinced I'm awake right now. Where I was like, I talked a little bit, along these lines about it. But yeah, whatever it is that you're working on, get it in front of somebody's eyes. Anybody, like literally, find a random grant, find a random anybody, because I promise you, whether or not you get the thing that you're applying for, there is so much value in just being able to sit and spend 3 hours working on your thing. Imagine you give yourself 2 hours, you give yourself an hour, 45 minutes, I don't care, like time to sit and think about this thing. What is it? What could it be? Where could it go? Who are we? What do we do? Who do we serve? What impact do we want to have? Like, it's invaluable. Whether or not you get the thing. If you get the thing, that's a plus. Big mama, get in your bag. But if you don't, you have new language. It was because I was applying for a research grant that I was like, wait, I can do research? Like, they give people money to do research over the course of a year? Because I do just want to get in my books and write. I want to write research papers about this. I can do that? Like, you would be willing to give me $50,000 to do research? I give it to me now. I'm ready. And you don't get to that clarity unless you sit with the work. Just sit with it and let it tell you what it wants to be. Let it tell you where it wants to go. Okay? So that's what's on my mind today, y'all. Y'all better pray for me, because I'm gonna close this deal. Like Rachel and Kev on stage, I'm closing a multi-million-dollar, multi-year deal. Okay. But yeah, if you're new around here, my name is Lynn, and I make videos about my artistic journey to doing meaningful work in my community, in the communities that I live in, and serving to the best of my ability. And I teach kids how to use their hands and get off the iPads, and I teach adults how to release control, and I talk about it basically every single day on here. So please like this video if you found it insightful or a little funny. If you cackled a little bit, please subscribe. And yeah, during the month of August, I'm here every single day. So I'll catch y'all tomorrow.